feel like our landscape can be used to show if a place has modernized or not. And like if you look at Vermont's landscape, then it's just like all the fields and there's a lot of barns and cows and like one could see that and say that like it's kind of a land like in the past like we haven't modernized. And whereas you take like New York City and one would call it like really a modern place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are more buildings, like downtown probably wasn't there, like downtown Burlington, but then it's also probably stayed the same, like up northern Vermont.
And like I know this whole area, my parents were telling me that like the whole area behind our school was like never really built up. It was just like South Burlington was all rural, and now it's like one of the bigger cities in Vermont. Kind of a place where people go to like get back to what like the more simpler things. Like there's so many ski towns, and they're just like little roads, little houses, and so pretty much like just a laid back place. Really pretty, because I know a lot of people, like my relatives, like to come here, who live in California, like to come up here in the fall to see the leaves change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what most people come up here for, the leaf change, because they never really see that in the bigger cities, or like just go skiing.
I think you have to be like more mature though to like accept it, you know what I mean? 'Cause
Really
it's like,
appreciate it.
yeah. Because if I wanted to go on vacation, I wouldn't go to like Vermont. It'd be like something like more adventurous, I guess, more entertaining.
Well, we think it's kind of like simple, rather than we could be like, oh yeah, we're going to the big city, we're going to see all like the skyscrapers, while they're all, while they think of us as like farmhouses and just cows and animals and stuff like that.
I also think it depends on your level of like what you want and like what you like. Like a lot of people really like big cities, so coming here would just be a bore. But like for me, I really like places like this because I feel like I love just like the really naturally pretty landscapes, and some people would love it here, and it would be like their prime place to be.
I kind of feel like people in like New York City, if they've lived there all their life, or if they have lived there for a while, it's kind of like normal to them. And then we go to New York City to like visit, like, and we think it's so cool. And then people come to Vermont just to visit, but for us it's just like normal. Like we just like go to church here or whatever, but then people actually come here to like sightsee. But it's kind of just like normal for us, you know. It's not something we think is like out of the ordinary.
Like I've known people from like California or whatever, and they don't even know Vermont is here.
Yeah, they don't even know what, like,
Yeah,
what
they
it
don't even
is.
know if it's a state or not. And they think it's like, oh, where's that? Like in Maine or something. And then they like perceive us as we don't have any electronics. We don't know anything. We don't use Twitter or Facebook. We just sit around milking cows all day and working in the field.
In the fire.
Yeah. It's like us in like the olden days. Like they think we never really evolved into something that they have.
Like whenever I hear somebody talk about like Vermont, like on the news, or like if I ever hear something about Vermont from like somebody out of the state, it's always like a reference to Cabot cheese or maple syrup, or just like the more environmental things, like we're farmers, we like Hicks, like Sage said, and
Not
But
true.
it's also like weird because some celebrities are going like all green or organic, or like, I don't know, kind of rich people have that kind of like organic thing kind of going on, I guess. But like it's something that we've been doing for many years, so it's like we've been ahead of it.
We've been ahead of like them, and we haven't changed. Yeah, we've gotten more buildings, but we're not building skyscrapers over here. And they're now just realizing that we need to go back to simplicity.
yeah.
But we also don't have a need to have all that. Well, yeah, most of us have cell phones and we use them, but it's not like we use them for everything, like every little thing, like say California or New York does.
I really think that we're not gonna become too urbanized because I think people realize that that the rural quality that we have like really makes Vermont like a really good state to live. I think that in that like efficiency for like power and whatever people are looking for now will just be progressed in 100 years. Like I really don't think that we're gonna turn into a big city, but I also don't think that it will stay how it is. Like maybe wind farms will pop up, and maybe I think we're just gonna find more ways to embrace like what makes Vermont good, like the green part of it.
I think like in like the scheme of things, I don't know how to say that. Like
You
I
got
think,
it.
like people want to keep Vermont the way it is, but I think realistically it's probably not going to stay the same. Like
We're gonna be influenced by something.
yeah, and we have so much land that it's like when factories, everything's getting bigger, cities are getting bigger. I feel like we're just going to eventually become a city. I think the skiing will actually like have like a big. I think like in 100 years, I think people might start instead of like going to like Aspen or like all those other places. I think people might start going like Vermont, to go skiing.
You can also see like the changes even just by like over the past couple years. Like my mom was even talking about how like Butler Farms, that's like all that stuff is all new.
And I also feel like people in general are always trying to think of the next way to make more use of the land and like to use it to its fullest potential. Like even if like a lot of people think that that's like building on it and making everything bigger and better, but also like I feel like a lot of people don't see that what we have, even if it's not like in use, even if it's just fields, like maybe that's a better part. And a lot of people will see like big open land, like think of the next building possibility of it.
Yeah.
And so that could happen.
Vermont come just to like forward like the landscape. So I feel like they'll kind of pass it on to their kids, and like the people that live here will continue to like have a desire for not a very like big city and just more like rural, more like just what people envision Vermont as. So
And back to like maybe not changing it. I think there's a certain like maybe not moral value, but like kind of an idea that like maybe not to totally change a good thing. And like this is like I know South Burlington is like one of the best places to like raise a family, and like this state is just a really good place to live. And I think that like people wouldn't really do much to that except for like you said, make things more energy efficient. And the identity of Vermont kind of, I think it's just in that like we're not so like advanced that we've lost sight of like what we've always had.